Alrighty then, Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 551, Podcasts and Interviews. There's Stanley, all hanging out. It just now got light, so that's how we are here as we head towards winter. Alright, podcasts and interviews. There's no such thing as bad publicity, right? All publicity is good publicity. Well, when you come in to sell your books, you really want to maximize and optimize your time. So you want to make sure the podcast or the interview is aligned with your books. Aligned. Get those interviews, get those podcasts, and make the submissions. You can pitch people, but make sure you're pitching people intelligently. Listen to their podcasts, watch their interviews if they post them on YouTube or on their blog or wherever, and see what kind of things they talk about. Yes, that's exactly my readership. That's exactly my target demographic. That's exactly everything good about my book. And when you pitch, make sure you mention hey, this is the alignment between me as an author and the books I write and your listeners, your viewers. So make sure you're pitching the right stuff to the right readership in the right way. Be ready to talk about how that stuff is aligned and answer the questions intelligently. You don't want to come across as a buffoon, so if you don't interview well, if you aren't good on your feet, if you aren't, and you don't have to be great, you just have to be good enough and understand you're having a conversation and other people are just listening in. Not that, hey, I am making a pitch, this is a TED Talk that I have to get perfect. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can say and on, that's okay. You try not to, but do your best. Talk to the interviewer like two people having a nice conversation in a hallway. But the pitch has to be on target, that this is aligned, not just spam the world with, hey, interview me, I'm an author. Not good enough. I'm an author of science fiction. Still not really good enough. I'm an author of science fiction that writes space opera. Okay, now we might be aligned with the listeners and viewers. Then have a good conversation, talk about that stuff, talk about a little bit about your books. Make sure you ask questions of the interviewer too. So don't make it all about you. Somebody who engages in a two-way conversation is going to be much better received. Set low expectations in regards to, I did this interview, I should sell 100 books. No. Set low expectations. I did this interview and I might sell a book or two. So if you sell 5, 10, even 100, be surprised, be pleasantly surprised. But if you sell any at all, be happy. Be happy with that. You got the exposure. This is exposure where it goes to name recognition. So you want to, it's a 7 touches rule, right? If they hear your name 7 times, so an Amazon ad hits them, a Facebook ad hits them, another of their friends talk about, hey, I read a new book by Craig Martelle. And then all of a sudden they hear Craig Martelle in an interview. All of a sudden, hey, look at that, 7 touches. So you may never know exactly where the sale came from. But this is the good exposure, not just spammy exposure. Like I did 100 interviews this last week and I didn't sell any books. Not good exposure. Good exposure is being aligned. Make sure you're aligned. Make sure you pitch properly and intelligently. Say the right thing at the right time to the right audience. Peace, fellow humans.